Hi guys, my name is Olivia and I'm from Adasite. Today we're going to be talking about web analytics and Amplitude. If you see my page right now, you'll see that I have web analytics set up here, and then you can find that under these three lines, and then you can see that web analytics can be divided by channel or by campaign. So for this purpose of the video, we're going to do that by channel. So you'll see here that Amplitude actually already has a default grouping by themselves. So it is always the 7 values, which is direct, paid search, organic search, external referrals, organic social, other ads, and emails. But let's say you are a marketing person, and what you want to do is you want to look at, hey, which of my, let's say, paid search is the best performing, or which of my social media is the best performing. So in order to do that, what you can do is you can create this thing called custom channel grouping. Now, custom channel grouping would follow a set of rules that you create, and then from those rules, they will show up in these custom channel grouping. So as an example here, I have this data set, as you can see. For this purpose, what I wanted to do was I wanted to separate out all the social media, and I wanted to figure out which one is number one, the best performing social media, and then number two, I want to split it out by paid versus organic. So here you'll see that, for example, in Meta's case here, I know that everything that has an ad set ID or campaign ID like this, it's part of the Meta paid. But for example, here, if we have Meta and then it's empty, then we call them like Meta Social. Same goes with Instagram here. If they're CPC, they're in their paid, but if they're empty or like their bio, they're part of the social. Same goes with TikTok here, organic versus paid, paid versus social, and then everything else falls under paid search for our case, and then direct traffic, email, and referrals. Now, with that being said, what we can do is now we can create that custom grouping. So we'll go back to Amplitude, and then we'll go to the data tab. Under the data tab, we'll go to properties, and then we'll look at channels. So here, this is where you can create the custom channel grouping. So the first thing that you want to look at when you are creating this custom channel grouping is actually which attribution model your team would prefer to use. So in our case, there are two ways of doing this. One is by the first touch, and the other one is by the last touch. And for the sample right now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the last touch. So we're going to create this custom channel here. And then, so this is what typically Amplitude does, but for our case, we want to separate them out, right? So in this example, because we want to keep everything else the same except for organic social and paid social, what we're going to do is we're going to remove them here, and then we're going to add more values. So here we can click at add row, for example, and then number one, what we want to do is we want to separate out Meta. So we'll say here is Meta paid, and then we'll have another one where we said is Meta social. Now we know that these are our now we know that these are all our combinations that we can find, and here we separate this out by Meta paid and Meta social. So let's start with the Meta social first, where we know that their UTM source is always going to be Meta, and then their UTM medium is either going to be empty or organic. So here we can say that, hey, this is Meta social. We know that the source, so we'll add a property here, UTM source. Oh, one more thing. First touch in Amplitude, they're always going to be UTM medium initial, and then if it's last touch, it's just going to be UTM medium or UTM source. So adding the initial would mean that it is the first touch. So let's go back to the topic. Meta social here, we'll see that the source is always going to be Meta. So we're going to say, hey, everything that contains Meta, right? And then we know that the UTM medium is going to be you know that the UTM medium is going to be organic, or in this case, empty. Empty, or we can say null. So anything that has meta, but their medium, UTM medium is either organic, empty, or null, then we'll mark them as meta social. And then for meta paid, because we know that all the campaigns in our meta platforms are going to have values in their medium, what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, our UTM source will always be meta, again, here, but we'll add another property where we say UTM medium, and here we can say that is not, when it is not organic, and then when it's not null, and then when it's not empty, then we want to consider them as meta paid. Oh, actually, I missed one more thing here where we have UTM sources campaign ID. We'll go back here. So these two now are the groupings for meta paid and meta social. So next, if you want to have another one, which is Instagram paid, and then another one would be Instagram social. We'll do the same thing where now we see that everything that is Instagram here, the paid one is only CPC, but everything else is organic. So we can say, okay, let's go back here, and then we say for Instagram paid, UTM source must be Instagram, right? And then our UTM medium for everything that's paid would be CPC. CPC here. And then everything else for Instagram social, it would be the same where we have Instagram, oops. Okay, and then everything that is not CPC would be part of our Instagram social. So here we can say that the medium is not CPC. So here I did a fast forward. Basically, we grouped them all together where we have meta paid, meta social, Instagram paid, Instagram social, TikTok paid, and TikTok social, and then other social media. So we know that we do not advertise anything here, but we know that it's available through our social media platform. So once we have that here, what we want to do is we want to save it. Okay, once we save it, let's say I'll name it custom social channel. Here, save that one more time. So once we're done with that custom grouping, we'll go ahead and see that, okay, yes, we have this custom social channel that we created. And then when we go back to traffic by channel again in Web Analytics, you'll see here that now our data is broken down by all the channel grouping that we created. Another nifty thing that we could do is if, let's say, we create a chart here, and then let's say we want to look at page view, right? What you can do is you can actually group by the custom channel grouping that you've created. So in this case, for example, I want to look at, hey, from all the people that came in here, how many people came from, let's say, TikTok paid or TikTok social, and so forth. So this is the cool thing about channel grouping, where it's totally customizable. You can use it everywhere, not just in Web Analytics, but also in your regular analysis. So that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Bye.